Hi, Defy Gravity. How are you today? Hey, we're back again in the creation room, and we're here to talk to you about probably a pretty difficult conversation.
Yes.
We want to talk about your circle of friends, your circle of influence. And at the core of that, and who we choose to put in our circle, is about loneliness and belonging.
Yes.
So we were shocked by some statistics that we heard in doing some of this research. There's plenty of research being done on loneliness today, and they have found that 1 in 4 Americans reports that they have no friends they can confide in, and that's tripled in the last 30 years.
Yeah.
That 1 in 3 Americans over the age of 65 is socially isolated, and over the age of 80, it actually goes to 1 in 2,
Wow.
which is a devastating statistic. That loneliness and isolation is as harmful for your health as being an alcoholic, and twice as harmful as obesity, and it is equivalent to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day.
Ooh.
So that speaks to the importance of being with people that you enjoy, people that lift you up, that grow you, that feed your soul. And so that's about choosing your tribe.
Yes.
Okay? And I heard a phrase again this weekend, your vibe attracts your tribe. So it gets back to some of the things we talked about before, is your thought processes and what you speak about and what's important to you. And we're going to get into more about that as well. But we are sick from loneliness. And we can be lonely even in a crowd.
Yes.
I mean, when I was in my college days, I'll call it that, I could be at a party with a whole lot of people and not feel like I had anybody to talk to.
Yeah.
I felt incredibly lonely. More than one party, I found myself in the bathroom hiding out. Probably a few tears along the way, too. Yeah, I mean, it's a party. Like, everybody's out there having fun, and I'm sobbing in the bathroom.
Oh, I'm sorry I wasn't there.
Well, I wish you were.
I
Would have been better.
I'm like, dude, let's go.
Let's go. Probably, I was in Central Michigan. We probably would have done a shot or two.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that talks about the stats on loneliness. And we think the more Facebook friends we have and the more Instagram friends we have, the less lonely we are. But that's not the case.
No, because that is this.
It's not human interaction.
Right
we need,
here.
yes,
Like,
we need
hey,
to be we need to be in proximity with each other for sure. And so that is and usually that fuels our sense of loneliness and rejection and our insecurities, because we,
Right.
What people post on Facebook and Instagram is like their perfect life. And the truth is, life isn't perfect.
No.
No, none
Not
of us
even
have it perfect.
close, Not even close.
No, not at all.
And I think the hard part is that it starts, the belonging starts like little babies.
Yes.
Little babies. And if they're not getting that group activity or that closeness, or, they're seeking out that with their school companions. And
Yes.
it's interesting how they gravitate to certain people, and then they like stay away from others. And again, it's energetic, but as a 5-year-old, you don't know that.
No, you don't know that.
So you don't know that you like Jimmy over there, and you want to play with Jimmy, but you don't really like Samantha or whoever over there.
Yeah.
And they just feel weird, so like you go and you hang out with Jimmy.
Yeah.
But in your mind, it's just like, oh, this one looks more fun, that one not so much. But it's actually energetic.
It is. And developmental psychology studies have shown, like, from roughly, it starts in utero, actually. If you're, say your mom got accidentally pregnant with you, and she's young, or not married. So it's a stressful pregnancy, and she's like, I don't know that I really want this baby. This was not something I planned on. This is really going to change my life. That disconnection starts there, and there's biochemical signals that are transferred between mom and baby that are like that. Right. It's not a judgment. It's just, let's talk about the reality of what happens.
Right.
Then if mom is postpartum,
yes,
or struggles with, I don't know how to be a mom to an infant, and they've shown that babies biochemically, the more they're held and cuddled, the more safe and secure they feel. If they're disconnected, they don't feel safe and secure.
No.
If, let's just say they're given up for adoption, but they're in foster homes and they're not given the kind of love and attention that they need, that sets up the sense of longing. And everybody reacts to that sense of longing differently. Some do it by socially isolating.
Right.
I'm not comfortable with other people. I don't know how to connect with people.
Some
Some do it by clinging to the person that they see as an ideal. Like, this is who I think I want to be, or who I think I want to hang out with.
Or they're just the person that's around, that's available to them.
Yep. Or it's somebody who's like what they see at home, which may or may not be beneficial for them. So if they have an angry father, they may find the kid in the schoolyard that is angry, and start hanging out with that person because they resonate with that. They understand it. It's something that, at least if it's not comfortable, it's familiar.
Right.
So they're choosing someone that matches their beliefs and perceptions about what the world is or should be, right, wrong, or indifferent. And when you're young, you're not analyzing that. You're not thinking about that as a 7-year-old on the playground. You're just like, okay, home is a scary place, and school then, I create a scary place because at least I'm familiar with that and I know how to survive in that and respond to it.
Right.
So when we have kids that are struggling behaviorally, I think it's important to dig into why are they struggling behaviorally. We often punish behavior without looking at what's behind the behavior.
Right, where it's stemming from.
Right. So by middle school, we're starting to choose our friends. It even starts, I think, like 4th, 5th grade. We start to choose our friends. Some fade away and they go off and find other friends, and we go find other friends. And that can be a really traumatic thing.
Yes.
Because somebody you've been friends with since you were like 2 years old is now hanging out with someone else and they didn't invite you.
Right. Or
and
they
now
don't
you're feeling rejected.
Anymore,
they don't talk to you anymore. Yeah.
Or
Any number
mean.
of things happen.
Yeah.
And as a 5th grader, you weren't thinking about, well, it's important that some people leave our lives because that season's. We don't think about that in 5th grade. We're just thinking about,
why aren't they talking to me anymore?
She's not talking to me anymore. I don't know what to do. I don't have any friends, and I got to find new friends, and I don't know how to do that. And they don't they don't know me as well as the other person. There's lots of different sort of pieces of this puzzle. So we reinforce our belief systems around the world by the people we surround ourselves with.
Yes.
Okay. And there's a piece of belonging. There's a researcher by the name of Brene Brown, who's one of my favorites. Love her.
She's awesome.
And I want to read this quote because she does a lot of research into shame and vulnerability and belonging. So this is a quote from one of her books, and I think this is incredibly and speaks to the point. Belonging is the innate human desire to be part of something larger than us. Because this yearning is so primal, we often try to acquire it by fitting in and by seeking approval, which are not only hollow substitutes for belonging, but often barriers to it. Because true belonging only happens when we present our authentic, imperfect selves to the world. Our sense of belonging can never be greater than our sense of self-acceptance. And that's huge. That's absolutely huge.
Yeah. So when you start thinking about those people in your life, you're like, who can you really be who you are with that person?
Yeah.
Who is that? And there may be 2 or 3, or if you're lucky, 10. Yay!
Right.
You.
Yeah.
Good picker.
Yep.
Good environment, all that.
I'd say I have 10 now, but I didn't before.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. And you've got to build your tribe.
Yes.
You've got to cultivate the tribe. And I think we jump into tribe accidentally. And I had this epiphany. So I was talking to my son, who is a senior in high school, and he was talking about how he has a limited number of friends, and because he doesn't trust a lot of people, and people have been inauthentic with him, and he is all about I am me. Right? He just came into the world with that belief system. He stayed with it. I'm so thankful for that. Like, he doesn't struggle with the stuff that I've struggled with. And so we were talking about it, and I said, I realize now that in middle school and even into high school, I did have a fair number of friends or people that I hung out with. But then there was this whole group that I longed to be a part of. So as I'm able to go back and look at that, why did I long to be a part of that group? And what came to me was, first of all, I saw in them what I thought was deficient in me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I've never been a size 4. It's just not how I'm built. So I sought out the girls who were size 4 and they're cute and they look, and wonderful for them. But I thought if I hang out with them, apparently I'm going to become that.
Maybe it'll rub off on me.
Right? Yeah. Or I sought out,
Sorry.
it doesn't, right? Or I seek the people that validate what I believe is wrong with me. So some of them are really mean to me, but that validated that I wasn't good enough. I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't pretty enough.
Yeah.
I was too fat. It validated all of those things. And so I would seek those people out. And I look back now and I'm like, ooh, I really wish I'd have had more gratitude for the people in my circle because I had some wonderful people that I spent time with. And I'm still friends with some of those people today, and I'm very thankful for that. Very thankful for that. The other thing that I found was interesting is that my loneliness manifested in stuff.
Yes.
I think that's part of hoarder challenges is extreme loneliness.
Yeah.
And the more they hoard, the more they're like, I don't want people around, so it validates their isolation, which
Right.
validates their loneliness.
Right.
And then they spiral into a depression.
Right.
And
Because
then
what they
it's-
really want is company, but they're not creating a space for company.
Right. And so they're stuck in this victim mode, right?
Right.
I am the victim.
Right.
The outside
Nobody
world
loves
is a scary
me.
place. Nobody loves me. Nobody
Right.
wants to come see me because
Right.
when they do come see me, the house is gross or
Right.
they can't get in or they can't sit down or whatever. And so, if they don't come around, it validates my belief in my loneliness. The hard part about being in that victim mode is shaking yourself out of it.
Right.
Okay, so I think that's part of what we're aiming to do with the You Transform workshop is
It
if
is.
you are in that mode, let us help you shake you out of that.
Yes.
Because there is a tribe out there for you. There's a circle out there for you. People that are going to help you grow and strengthen and find that power that's in you and live your purpose and do all these amazing things that we know
Yeah.
are inside of you because we had to dig it up for ourselves.
Right. Right. But it goes along with what we talked about last time about the way you speak
Yeah.
about yourself and your thoughts
Yep.
about yourself. And, again, that energy attracts.
Yeah, it does.
So, direct your thinking to attract the circle that best serves you as well as them.
Right.
Like mutually good circle.
Right.
Yeah.
And to do that, you have to know what's important to you.
Right.
So you have to know what your values are. You may have been raised. I remember reading a story about a woman who had been suffering from an autoimmune condition. She grew up in a very traditional Italian family. Found out that gluten and dairy were a significant inflammatory for her, and she grew up eating pasta, like spaghetti, lasagna, whatever.
Or wouldn't eat anything but macaroni and cheese.
Right.
Like, there's so many kids like that.
Yep.
It's so bad for them.
And so she had to go completely paleo. And in doing so, she couldn't eat her family's food anymore. Had a real serious issue going to family dinners and getting a lot of guff because she
Right.
wouldn't eat what grandma had made.
Right.
She's like, please understand that this is what I found is best for me. So
Right.
that was a value for her. She knew that was important. If you don't like skydiving, you're not going to hang out with people that skydive.
No, definitely not.
If you like swimming, you're going to hang out with swimmers.
Right.
So I think it's important that you spend time knowing what's important to you.
Right.
And it
And the
it
things
goes
that bring
across.
you joy.
Absolutely.
Like if swimming brings you joy, be around people that swim, do your swim thing,
Yeah.
hang out, have fun.
Right. Right. So you have to do this evaluation of what's important to you. Something that we don't really do because usually our values are given to us by age 7 by our family
Yes.
and our peers and the people around us, and we don't question that. But you have to
It
go
is.
through a questioning process.
Right.
Yeah, that's
As
an
you get
important
older,
part of it.
Yeah. Like what fits, what doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Like,
As an example, I'm wearing a blue shirt. I like blue.
Right.
I don't wear orange.
Oh.
I don't care for orange. And I'm okay with that. It seems like a silly boundary, but for me it's a boundary. It's like I
Right.
don't wear orange. It's not orange in my skin tone, not a
Right.
good thing.
And guess what? Colors are energetic as well.
They are.
Sorry, everything has energy and frequency.
And they
it
impact your
affects you.
mood? Absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so, and that's so funny. It brings up a funny story.
Yeah.
So the library is going into a new building.
Right.
And one of the colors that was chosen was an orange whose name was emotional.
Oh my.
And it was going to be in the teen area.
Ooh. Do you really want to add emotion to teenagers?
Right? So, you know, the librarian in charge of the teens was like, I don't need emotional teens. Let's not do
about we do some-
emotional color on the wall on his and it's a huge wall.
How
It would have
about,
been a
like-
lot of orange.
How about like Calm Lake?
right?
Is there a color called Calm Lake?
or harmonious blue or something, you know. But that's something you should take a look at also. Like, what colors are you surrounding yourself with? Because there is an energy.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you're living in black, all black. I went through an all black phase, drove my mom crazy.
I think we all did.
And I think that it was,
Was it Madonna's fault? I don't know.
I don't know, maybe because it was the 90s. Well, I'm sorry, it was the 80s. Shh, don't tell anybody. But I went through the black phase, and it was probably my darkest period in high school. And so my clothing reflected my mood.
Right.
So now I'm in this, I don't want to wear gray and black phase. I want to wear like pink. Like I love this blush pink that's popular right now, this rose blush pink that's super popular, or
Yeah.
the blues or bright colors, because that reflects where I'm at emotionally much
Yeah.
better than black. I do occasionally wear black, but I usually pick a really colorful pair of leggings on the bottom of it. So
Right. It's either black on the bottom and something colorful on the top, or maybe black on the top and something colorful on the bottom, just to mix it up a little bit.
occasionally it's mixing plaids and
Oh.
prints. It can be
Oh, yeah,
challenging.
see? You can do that.
Well, you can do that. That works.
problem.
What I was wearing the other day didn't work. It didn't work.
I
The
don't
boys
think I
were
was
teasing
there
me
to
about
see
it, right?
so-
They were like, "You're not going anywhere like that, are you?"
That's awesome.
I'm like, "Just to Walmart." It's
Nothing
all
like
good."
your sons to keep you straight.
And they do. They're super conservative. It's cracking me up. So, all right. So once you know your values, then you can set your boundaries. And the boundaries are the toughest and the best thing you will do for yourself.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Yes.
Because what you'll decide is what's the go no go? What's the line in the sand?
Right.
And value setting, I think this is a really fun exercise to do with people, is how to determine their values. And it's much easier than people think, or their boundaries. It's so much easier than people think to determine their boundaries. And we'll do that as part of the workshop. But it is actually more fun than you can imagine.
Right. Well, and
Yeah.
it also helps people know where you're at.
Yeah.
You know, there's no guessing about how to be around you when you have solid values and boundaries.
Right. Well, and the phrase, you teach people how to treat you.
Oh, yes, you do.
Boy, that one hit home like right between my eyes, and I went, "Oh, I'm letting that happen.
Yeah.
I'm letting that person cross a boundary because I haven't said no.
Right.
I haven't put up a barrier to say this isn't acceptable. This is what is acceptable to me. This isn't."
Right. And no is not mean. It's not harsh. It's just no. Like, this is not something that works for me, and
Yeah.
and I'm not afraid to let you know that.
Right.
Because it's my right to have that boundary.
Well, and the cool part about boundary setting I've found is the people that don't respect my boundaries are no longer in my life and not causing me turmoil.
Right.
And the people that do respect my boundaries, we have better relationships now.
Yes.
We have better conversations. We can hang out together easier. It's, no big deal because they're not violating a boundary I never told them I had.
Right. That goes along with the expectation thing.
Right.
Yeah. If they don't know that there's a boundary and they cross it, then you can't be mad at them because you didn't say anything.
Right.
If you don't say anything, if you don't speak up, that's not their problem.
Yeah.
You know, it is your job to speak up when someone has crossed a boundary with you.
Yes. And you know your boundaries because it has been the time that you're sitting at family dinner and somebody made you mad. That's a boundary.
Yeah.
They crossed a boundary. They triggered something in you
Right.
that needs attention. That
Right.
needs you to spend time healing it, spend time resolving it, rewiring it, re-speaking it to yourself, or setting a boundary so it doesn't happen again.
Right.
So like I said, it'll be the toughest and the best thing you're going to do, in my personal opinion. And we will do boundary setting as part of the workshop.
Yes.
So much fun. I think it's fun. And you'll find it fun as you practice it. Got to practice it.
Yes. Practice. We're still practicing.
Yeah.
We want to share this information But at the same time, we are still practicing. Life still happens. Life still comes at us.
Yes.
So, it's just, how fast do you transform whatever it is that happens? Like,
Yeah.
You say something mean to me, and either I can be like,
Yeah, I'm not going to talk to her for 3 months. I'm so mad.
I'm so mad. Or you can be like, okay, I get that, and here's whatever, like it doesn't have to be dramatic or horrifying or cause a lot of upset energy. It can just be like life can do like this. It doesn't always have to be this, but it's how you think about things, and it's practicing catching yourself when, you're getting over reactive.
Yes. Yeah, and part of that process is, if you were to say something that makes me mad, my first job is to go, why am I mad?
Right.
Am I mad because what they said was actually disrespectful, or am I mad because it's triggered something in me that I need to work internally, and then maybe I need to go back to that person and say, that triggered me, but that was my thing, and I worked it out. I appreciate your help with that.
Right.
But if it's something disrespectful, then we get into values and boundaries, and you have to say to that person, that really was a problem for me. Here are the reasons why. I would appreciate it if you didn't do that again.
Right. Or admit to yourself, like, ooh, that's something I need to work on. Thanks for bringing it up.
Yep.
Thanks for
I know you didn't plan on it, but hey, every opportunity for healing we can do is good.
It's just an opportunity. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just, life and things that we work on.
Yes, absolutely. So, the You Transform Workshop, this is another element of it. It's another piece of the learning process. Woohoo! 7 weeks. 7 weeks. It's going to be awesome. It is available for registration now. The link will be available to you, but if you want to write this down, it's defygravityschool.thinkific.com. Okay? It's available on my website too, Whole Body Renewal, if you need to find it there. Register now, because the people that register early, not only you get a discount because it's $79 instead of $99, but we are also entering the early registrants into an opportunity to do some one-on-one coaching.
Whoop, whoop.
So you get an extra bonus. And we're putting together some other bonuses because we just have so much we want to share with you guys. We're putting together some other bonuses, so those will be available as well for early bird registration.
Awesome.
Early bird gets the worm. So if you hop in and register, we appreciate it. Let us know. And we will start everything. We'll kick off November 22nd. Oh, and if you register now, there's some pre-work in there that you can have some time to get done.
Yes.
There's 5 lessons, 5 pre-work things.
I think so.
And the key with the pre-work is it's going to get your mindset ready for what are the things you need to work on, so that it's what we call the reticular activating system. Excuse me. So with the RAS, or the RAS, as some people call it, what you are aware of, you then learn from. And it applies to, like, if you buy a red car, the day after you buy that red car, you see red cars everywhere.
Yes.
Because you're now aware of it. So the key with the pre-work is we're going to get you thinking into the things that you are going to need to focus in on. And the opportunities that this workshop is going to give you to step forward, grow, heal.
Yes.
Write the chapters of your life.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah, and that'll be things. And then, during the course, there'll be things that you can discuss, like if there's anything that you're stuck on or whatever. If it's already in your mind during the course, then you can ask us and we'll be like, oh, here's this.
Yeah, and when we do the live Q&A sessions, that is an opportunity also for you to come in and be like, hey, this really came up in the pre-work quiz and I'm stuck on it, and we just did the module. Can you help me to work through some of this? And that's what we're here for.
Yep, absolutely. We're here for you.
Absolutely. So, I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I can't wait to see all you people and talk to everybody.
I hope you guys are excited. So, hop on to defygravityschool.thinkific.com. We also are on Defy Gravity Facebook, Defy Gravity Instagram, Whole Body Renewal website, which will be changing to Defy Gravity eventually. I just haven't done it yet. It's on the to-do list.
Things to do. Yeah,
things to do. And what else? Oh, that'll close midnight on the 13th. The early bird will close midnight on the 13th. So hop in now. Don't wait. And then it goes up to $99. Anything I missed?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So wrapping it up.
We're looking forward to meeting you guys. And we will be back next week with more good information for you. Yay. Take care. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye.